Hi, I'm Jeff Gatewood here. Some people know me as Clovis Snapper. And I'm going to do just a short video. Or it may not be short, but I'm going to do a video about salvaging pieces that you started to make arrowheads, and I know everybody does it. And before you get them done, you break them. And you end up with broke pieces laying around. And I'll show you a couple of pieces I've got right here in my hand. And what I'm going to try to attempt to do is show you how to take these pieces like this. You can see was a big old wide piece of Dover, black Dover. It's real wide, it's not very long. Now it's not very long, but it's wide. Something like that make a Calf Creek or Snyder's Point. Right here's a piece of heat treated Tennessee that you can see I got it fairly thin and then broke it. Got some irregularities. Here's just a piece of K County. Might make a small Calf Creek or arrow point or some kind. Anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll take this piece of Dover and I'm going to make a Calf Creek out of it. Let me zoom out a little bit here. If this works out, I'll show you how to salvage some of these pieces. Adjust my camera a little bit. And I've got my camera at a pretty high angle. I'm going to set it up just a little higher so maybe y'all can see what I'm doing here. Alright. If my kids come in here and interrupt me, don't pay no mind to it. If anybody has kids, they know what I'm talking about. Alright. I'll try to keep my work in the camera. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to establish a good working point. Now see what broke this piece? Looked like it hinged right here and snapped it in half. So, see if I can't blend that in right off the bat. Okay. Got some cortex right here that could spell trouble. Black Dover looks a lot like picking flint. Sometimes it's hard to tell the two apart. Picton usually has got a real strong oil smell when you work it. But I have also seen some of the Tennessee and Georgia flint that smelled like that, or actually had a brimstone smell. And what I'm going to try to do is keep my width. And it still got a little bit of a saw mark left on this piece, it looks like. Well, I'm going to have to take that off. Alright, setting the continual platform. There's the first piece. Second piece. That one then goes forward. There we go. Sometimes salvaging a piece like this is easy, sometimes it's not. There's a big flake running all the way across. Still got a little saw mark right there. You know, I always say, you learn by your mistakes. And you can take a point like this that I tried to make an arrowhead out of before and it failed. Sometimes you can save it, sometimes you can't. Show where I'm at on this. Right now, I've got a pretty thin blank. I need to run a flake through here. Got a little thing there making me a little leery. I think I'll go ahead and isolate just a little bit through here. I'm going to have to adjust my camera. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Got my pressure flaker. I'm going to isolate my platform. Okay. Now, I'll pull this out just a little bit. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit one flake. I'm going to send it right through here and probably try to hit that saw mark. And it didn't go as far as I wanted. That's alright. Still early in the game. Do it again. Right here. Let's go ahead and take this square edge off the tip. Still got a square edge. I'll go ahead and pressure flake it off so I won't be tempted to hit it. Maybe someday, I know it's hard for me to film and make arrowheads, maybe I'll have somebody to help me do some filming. We'll hit it hard. Still ain't got rid of all the saw mark. If I can get the saw mark off of it, it'll be a really nice piece. Put my finger on that hinge, pull, and hit. There we go. Took it off. Pulled on that flake and hit it at the same time. And it took the saw mark completely off. Alright. You'll make a calf creek for pretty much any notch point, but especially calf creek, you got to get them thin. And that really means thin, and especially in the base. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe y'all can see what I'm doing here. I'll show you where I'm at. And what I did is I took all the square edges off. I had a little bit of saw mark left. I took them off. Now what I'm going to do is run a few more flakes, thin it out some more. I'll probably pressure flake these flakes in and run one big one down the middle. Alright. Zoom out some here. Okay. Like I said, you gotta get them thin in the base if you're gonna notch them. But you don't see very many arrowheads this thick in the base anyway, unless it's a snap base or something. But what I did, a flake will not travel through a concavity, so I gotta rounded it over just a little bit so it's more of a rounded surface. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flute this piece and hopefully take out some of the problem. And I did. But there's the flake. Blow this up and show you what I did. I flute a lot of points. That's why they call me Clovis Snapper, but I do it sometimes. See, there's the thickness right there. I took out a big spot right down the middle right here. If you can see that in this light. But the reason I did is because I had a hinge and a real thick spot right in there. I'm almost ready to just start pressure flaking this piece. Got maybe just a few more licks to hit it, and then I will start pressure flaking it and then notch it. Right. What I've done here is took that piece and basically made a big triangular point. Alright, I'm going to use my bopper to edge with just a little. You may hear me grunt because sometimes I'm putting a lot of pressure on these things when I'm pressure flaking. Alright, a few more base your thinning flakes right here. Kind of like splitting firewood. If any of y'all have done that, you hit where you look, not look where you hit. Hand-eye coordination. I'd rather miss out as miss in. Alright. There we go. We just about got a good Calf Creek blank going. Now, do a little pressure flaking. Straighten the edge up. Okay. And I'll tell you another thing you can do that'll help if you're afraid you're going to break a point. You don't have to do all the thinning at once. Just thin the base down, and then if you break it, you ain't sunk a lot of time in it. I think the Indians would take and flute, would work one face and flute it before they set the other face up. In other words, they didn't worry about doing both sides first when they flute a point. I bet they did notching similar. They would take and do one side at a time. This piece here is pretty thin.